So John and I are here with Maggie Cowan, one of our very good friends from Pickleball and a very passionate pickleball community activist. So we're very excited to have this conversation.
Thank you.
How did you get into pickleball? And we understand that you have experienced a healing journey through pickleball. So we would love to hear more about your personal story with that, as well as how you've inspired others to heal through pickleball.
So first of all, thank you so much. We are here at the Pickleball. I love it. Thank you for inviting me here. Pickleball kind of came right out of, right when COVID hit. And I was in this upside down marriage. It was quite emotionally abusive. And I was looking for an outlet. I needed something just to get away from. And I started actually in a little group, a little volleyball group, and I was in Montgomery County, Maryland at the time. And this gentleman came in, he says, can I play with you guys? And I said, sure. And so he goes, hey, have you ever played pickleball? And I started laughing. I was just like, pickleball?
Very dumb name. Very dumb name.
I was like,
what? Yeah.
I'm like, actually, no. And he goes, well, we play over on Tuesday nights. Why don't you come over and give it a shot? And I'd seen a couple of my friends, I got into pickleball and it would just kind of, in my ear, but then I'm like, it doesn't sound like much. But I did show up, and I thought, in addition to volleyball, it's one more avenue that I can use to just have some me time. I showed up on a Tuesday. It was packed, 3 courts. I saw my friend, the guy who came in, and he goes, just grab a paddle and put it on the bench. I mean, I'm just like, what? I'm just asking people, I'm like, what's a paddle? They're in the bag, just grab a wooden paddle. A wooden paddle, this big old heavy thing. So I just picked it up and I go, where do I put it? And they're like, they're almost irritated, like, put it on the thing. There's like 15 paddles, right? So I'm just sitting there, I'm watching it, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's kind of like tennis. And I said, this could be fun, I'm all excited. And so they're, going through the paddles. I'm like, whose wooden paddle is this? And I'm like, it's mine. So I run the court. Mind you, no lesson,
Right.
no primer.
Do you even know the rules at this point?
I don't know the rules.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Awesome.
It was like, get on the court. So here am I. Everyone else is like trying to, do the score, and I'm running all over the place. And I'm pissing a lot of people off. They're just like irritated with me. And I realized at that point, it's like, my friend Larry didn't tell me nothing. I'm over here running around like a fool, but I loved it. And so I sat back down after I was frustrated at everyone, put my paddle down, I'm sitting there, and I'm just kind of like, I can't wait for the next one. These 2 girls behind me, they're like snickering, right? They're just like, and they're snickering, and I'm just like, are you laughing at me? And they're like, well, we can kind of tell that you're new at this. And I said, I am new, it's my first time. I'm looking back at the bleachers, and I said, you don't want me to learn this sport. I don't know where that little badass moment came from. I was just like, what am I saying? So I go back out there, and then after I just kind of grilled my friend, I was like, you should have prepped me for this. Okay, fast forward a little bit, I go back, I play, and I actually met these girls months later. And we got on the court again, and then after that, they told me, they said, you really can play this game now. And I said, well, yes, and we became actually friends. But that was the catalyst and the avenue that led me to a lot of healing from this situation. So I'm in this pickleball moment, and I'm feeling like, you know what, this is what I need. I need this social aspect. I need affirmations. Everyone was like, yes, good job, da, 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 da. I see new people coming in, so it was an avenue where people that don't know the game were actually learning the game. And it gave me a really nice safe haven out of this relationship that was tanking so fast. And so I'd come to pickleball to receive all the nutrients and the feel good and the happiness, and there's so much joy there, and fun, and people I was meeting, and then I'd have to go home and face, being ignored, or adding some cruel words. And in my mind, it's like, I can't wait till the next day. I go to work and I can hit pickleball, or I could fix my schedule where I could actually hit pickleball in the morning and then go to work. But that was my motivations. Like each day I thought, I can escape this hell I was going through and actually make it to a place where I was accepted.
They wanted you there, and you
Yeah.
felt magnetically pulled to
I
be
felt
there.
You
so,
have your village.
my little
Yeah.
village
Yep.
there, and everyone is just,
Pickleball village.
it's just pickleball, and there's doctors, there's contractors, there's people that work in the community, social workers, government officials, students,
Right.
people visiting, and everyone found a common ground on the pickleball court. And there was something that began to take place. I said, if I could just find more time to get on this court, then I could alleviate this pain that I was dealing with on the back end. And 2019 was the absolute crash of my marriage. And it was a good thing, because what I wanted was to just be healthy. I wanted to be in a space where I had, at that time, it was a 12-year-old, that I wanted to just make sure she was safe and that I was safe, and I wanted to get to a place that we were both in a healthy environment. Pickleball was such a catalyst for that, because when I was on the court, things were healthy. There was laughter, there was joy,
So much laughter.
Mm-hmm.
there was peace, and you begin to make relationships. Now it's not just pickleball, but now we're gonna go to lunch, and now we're going to, this is my daughter, and this is my son, and this is my husband, and this is my wife, and there was all kinds of just goodness going on that I thought, what an amazing space. I mean, is anyone else going through anything? Because I'm feeling really whole on the court. I'm feeling really, really good here. And 2019 was a moment where the marriage was dissolved, and I picked up my daughter Madison, and I said, okay, I said, we gotta go on. I said, we gotta get out of Montgomery County. Let's get to a place where we can find our little space, and we're just going to grow and heal. And I didn't know anyone in Washington County, but I found a place, and we moved, and immediately I looked for a pickleball community. I was like, I've got to keep this up. I've got to keep going. And I found Marty Smith Park, and there was nothing going on. I was like, and I saw the pickleball courts, and it was like nothing. I'm Googling, like, where's everyone playing? I couldn't find anything, so I put a little ad out on, I think it was Next Door, the little neighborhood ad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is there anyone that's playing? And they're like, well, I don't know, but I'll learn. So I took like a handful of new people, because I said, well, let me show you what I know, and then we can just go from there. And so we met at Marty Smith Park, and all of a sudden I saw a couple of guys walk in. It was in the afternoon, and I could tell they were watching me, but at first I thought they were tennis players, so I'm looking, I'm like, I'm not sure. But it ended up being one of my good friends, Daryl,
Of
Ryan,
course.
and Frank Dow,
Mm-hmm.
and John Grove, and they came in and they were kind of watching. I was teaching them, I was just like, hit the ball like this, and Daryl comes over and says, hey, we got a little group, do you wanna join us? And I'm just like the heavens opened up. It's like, oh, here we
You're
go
new to
again.
the area,
I'm
you know what you
new,
love, and
and
you
you know
didn't
what
have
I
the
love.
people.
And I'm waiting for that moment of like, there's gotta be someone in this town that plays,
Right.
and there they come walking through the gate. And from that was just the continuation of growing the pickleball community. We went from 5 to what it is now, probably over
Well
100
over
of us.
100. Oh yeah.
And it's just the heart of just bringing people in. And as I'm coming into this new place in Washington County and meeting new people, what I'm discovering is I'm healing from this craziness that I left. That was kind of a little fearful, of course, leaving what I was kind of comfortable and used to.
Mm-hmm.
and moving into something that was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just trusting because I have no idea. It's just if there's pickleball and a roof over my head, I think I'm going to be good. So I got the house. That was fine. I had a roof over my head, but finding a pickleball community was very important because I know what I felt in Montgomery County. I know what I felt when I was playing with people that I've never played with before. I remember the exhilaration and the peace and the love and the fun. It was just fun. And that's what I was missing, in this marriage, exiting that and coming into a new county and a new place where it was like same people, different people, but same vibe, same feeling, same groove. And so we've grown a little group now into what Hub City Pickleball Club is now.
How did you grow it? You're a newcomer in the area,
A
and now it's a
newcomer.
large community with so much passion.
Yeah, everyone knows about Hub City. Like everybody knows about Hub City Pickleball. If you mention your name in the local community, you have an outstanding reputation. I mean, you've done so much through the pickleball and reaching out to individuals and giving them, like, you don't have your community when you move here, and you've not just built one for yourself, you've built one for everyone, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
That. I think it's just when you notice when people are coming in and they're curious, they stand at the fence and they're watching. I mean, that to me is the calling card. It's like, you want to play? It's like, come on in. There's something magical about just allowing people to come together. And it's around, like I said earlier, a little plastic wiffle ball. That's it's not just Washington County and Hub City. You can go to any community in America, overseas, in the world. That one little plastic pickleball has bridged groups of people together. And so for me, it was just, I would meet people wherever. I see someone in the store with a pickleball, it's like, hey, do you play? I don't know, I'm just learning. I mean, with the excitement in their eyes.
Right.
So it was nothing to be able to market, there's a group that is playing, tap in, get connected. And then eventually, they can find their footing where they want to go. But it was very easy to build Hub City because people were hungry to find community, find a group.
And Sarah and I have talked about this before, and not throwing shade on where I used to live, but I was in Frederick County, and when I got into pickleball, it was all age bracketed to 50 plus within city limits. So I have told her that I had lived in Maryland for about a decade, and I never found a village. I could never get connected anywhere, wherever I tried, whatever. I was into running, cycling,
Right.
I had all these other activities, and I would make a few friends here and there, but it was never like a village of people that I felt like a really strong connection and network with. So I would actually drive up here to PA to play.
Wow.
I would drive up to, play at like any of the local spots that I had some connection with. I mean, at one point I would drive from like Frederick to York, PA. It was like an hour and 45 minutes. It was a full day event. Like we would drive almost 2 hours to play at that time. Like 3-5 was considered advanced. Like it was 3-5 to whatever, but it was just trying to get plugged in with these individuals. I'm very happy now that I had to go through that I have connections all over now.
Yes.
And I was able to really build this wide network and wide village of individuals. But it's amazing to me to see you grow something that you're so passionate about and give that place to everybody. And that's there's so many aspects of your story that's so special, but it's just amazing to see what you've built, and like that a plastic ball changes the trajectory of someone's life.
Absolutely. And I wish I could take the credit like it's something that I built, but it really has been such a team effort. I mean, I met Sarah years ago when we were on the pickleball court at the tournament.
Yep, it was 2 years ago, September.
2 years ago, September, and I remember you were saying you're new. You're like, we're just,
6 months in.
6 months in, and she beat my partner at the time, and we were kind of playing at like a 3-5 or whatever, and it exhilarated me. I'm thinking like, this girl is so good. I mean, she's got to get connected. I can't let her go. And I think I was like, you guys have got to get in Hub City. I was just so excited because I guess my ego was a little bruised, like, ouch, I lost. But it was just wonderful just to see. I could see even the passion in your eyes at the time, and you were such a good player then. That was 2 years ago. That it was very imperative to get her connected, get them connected. Your part at the time, get you connected.
I had been looking through the fence that you just described, looking to you and your group, and I was so excited when you invited me and my then mixed doubles partner to join your group and be part of that community. And now some of them I call actual close friends off the court as well.
Yes.
And we all shared that passion. It's such a variety of people.
Such a variety.
20-year-old students, retirees,
Yes.
like you said, doctors,
It's like there's a place for everyone. And the building, I think, is easy because you know people, I know people, and you know, on any given day, you're going to run into people that are playing this sport and are trying to find their footing and trying to find their place. And so it's an easy build. It's like, let's get you connected. You know, give your number. We're going to get you acclimated. And now more so of people like wanting to teach now, or they want to go pro, or they want to play more tournaments, or they want to just play. There's a spot for everyone. So
right.
I think as pickleball expands, it's easy to kind of fit people right in where they need to be.
Or just have that welcoming community at the end of a long day or outside of their abusive home. Just to come together with people that are excited to see them and have games together.
I love that so much. And that was, you said, you know, just finding something at the end of the day. For me, it was the start of the day, because I knew what my night was prior, but I knew in the morning I was going to hit that pickleball court and see all of my friends and be exhilarated all over again. And that was very healing. It's still very healing. When I get on the court, I get a certain like inner, you know what I'm talking about, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm home. It's that type of.
You truly feel at home. I mean that
truly
like
feel at home.
I have talked to Sarah about this multiple times that, you know, I had, like, you know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was on monthly, you know, daily antidepressants. I was on paper, everything looked as though life was accelerating. And I gave pickleball up for a year. I would try to still go out and run. Things were falling apart behind the scenes, and like I missed having that community. Like because I had worked so hard to try to build what little community I could find just from what I was doing, and I missed that. And whenever I had the opportunity to come back to this area and not just find it, not just reconnect with those that I had, but like find this even larger community that was growing was amazing. And bringing up the teaching aspect, like that's why I love to teach pickleball, is because I had to go out and like grind to try to learn and advance and play the way that I wanted to play, because it didn't exist in this area yet.
Right.
It was very limited. And like just like you said, getting people connected to the right groups, like that's so special to me. And I love having that, being able to help students. Hey, here's a lesson, but also I know X, Y, and Z. I know all these people. Like, let's get you connected here and get you connected here, because the largest, like in my mind, one of the most difficult portions of your pickleball journey is going to be getting plugged in at the right place for your level. You know, you can go have like a great community, but like, hey, let's give you the best of everything. You get your community, you get the level of play that you're looking for, and we can all help grow this sport together. And that's, I just love it. So
the various reasons why people play, you know, I thought at one point I was going to really get into tournaments, and I do love a good tournament. Sarah and I played a couple of tournaments together, but when I kind of sit back and I'm like, what is really pickleball? What is it? Why do I do pickleball? It's the connection, you know, because it was so imperative at the genesis of my getting into pickleball was I needed a connection. I needed an outlet. I needed to find a safe haven. And people are like, pickleball? Yes. because it's the one place where everyone, when you first start, you're equal. It's just, I don't, you might have, like you said, $100,000 between us, or, neighborhoods, or gender, or racial background, whatever, but on the pickleball court, what matters is just you're getting on the court when you're playing. And that right there was like some of the deepest medicine that I needed at that time, and I still do. I'm like, I get on the courts. I haven't been on the court in a couple of months, but if I was to go like right now, I would feel that same like, this is soothe. This is like my happy place. And so for me, I love to see the connection of someone coming in for the very first time, especially with their eyes are like wondering, like, I don't know if I could play like this. It's like, no, you can't, but let me connect you to John, who could teach you, or, other people that could, in your group levels, that you can build up your skills, and then if you want to go this way, that's the way to go. I've kind of done that all throughout my life in whatever. People would come to me and say, what do you think I should do, as a career? And I'm like, well, you're really good at this, blah, blah, blah. I kind of liken it to pickleball in the same way. It's just being able to connect people in the sport so that they could grow in which serves them the best way.
Yeah, see where they are, take them where they are, and introduce them to the right next step.
I love that.
I know, as for me, like coming from a tennis background, which is such a solo sport, especially a singles player, you're so far apart from your opponent. Matches take 2 hours, so there's no talking whatsoever. And then going from that high level competitive tennis career and day after day of that isolated solo tennis journey to a very lengthy abusive marriage, and then emerging from that to pickleball, where there's that high spirit and that shared passion, that social camaraderie. There's no phenomenon that I've ever experienced it, and I craved that type of healing.
Yes.
I can't even tell you how grateful I am for your introduction to the local pickleball community.
Oh, well, it's a team effort, You take your experiences and your experiences and mine, and we come together, we mesh, and you find even on the pickleball courts that you run into people that have a myriad of different, you would never know until you're talking with them. It's like, oh, you're going through an abusive situation, or you're dealing with an illness. So it's just mind-boggling how the sport has just connected people, but also giving us, dare I say, hope. I don't sound so dramatic, but I mean, if I didn't have pickleball, I would probably still, I don't know.
I would go as far as purpose. I would go beyond hope. I truly would. I would go into purpose, because again, in every sport that I've played, I liken it back to, and I've talked to both of you about this and other individuals, like I call my village, I surround myself with a village of savages. And that's not just, it's not just physical. Like whenever I was getting into pickleball, like it was branded as an old person sport, I was the young guy on the court, and I actually got made fun of for taking it so seriously. Like they were like, well, we're hitting the ball. Yeah, just hit the ball, But what I've noticed is within this community is that why I say a village of savages is because it's not like there are people getting after it physically, but mentally. These are some of the strongest individuals I've ever met, and they've come out of some of the hardest times that they've never come out of. And they, instead of bleeding on those who didn't cut them, they are healing and they are giving back to the community, and they are paving paths that other people may not know that they will ever step foot on. And I really truly feel that what we're doing, it's going to help so many people that don't know that they're never going to need that help, and they don't understand that they're going to one day be like, wow, I understand now what this plastic wiffle ball means to these people. I understand why they crave being on this court. I understand why they crave this community. I understand why they're playing for 5 hours and laughing. And I have not told either of you this, but I just had a conversation with someone who's not part of the pickleball community. And she was mentioning, she was like, just looking at what you all do, she was like, everyone that I see playing pickleball is a successful person.
Oh, that's good.
Like she sees, like from the outside looking in, she sees this whole community as individuals who are successful at life. Now that doesn't just need to be monetary, you know, it doesn't need to be that. People are viewing this community as success.
Yes.
Like that's what they see people as in this community, is successful. And again, back to those other sports, like I've never been part of a sporting community where that I feel that way.
Right.
And I feel very fortunate that we are getting to watch a sport really, truly be kind of in a birthing stage.
Yes.
You know, it's been around since the 60s, but the phenomena of it is...
Not at this explosive level.
Right, yeah, like, I liken this back to if you were around when tennis just began, like that must have been, in hindsight, an amazing thing to witness. And I don't take it for granted any day that we actually get to be at this point in history of this sport that is growing so rapidly. And not only do we get to watch it happen, but from a local community standpoint, a lot of us were very early adapters.
Yes.
Which is very cool to see now how we plug in. And I didn't think that I'd be plugged in the way that I am now. Like I didn't see that when I was starting. Like I was just thankful to like have like 4 pickleball friends. You know, like that's what I was thankful for. Or to like play like, I was like, if I can play a 4-0 tournament, like I will be ecstatic.
Right.
Like that, you know, then
I've made it.
I've made it, you know. And it's just an amazing phenomenon to be a part of. I'm very grateful for it.
I think what is really also special is you can put your paddle into your your little suitcase and travel anywhere and find a game, and that same energy and love and passion, it permeates. I mean, wherever you end up, you've done that before. I know I have, and it's like I'm in Monterey and I'm going to play pickleball. I don't know these people, but here I am, and we connect, and all of a sudden it's that same like yes, we're on the court, that type of thing, and I love that. I love that it's gone worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
I love the stories that I sometimes look at are people leaving situations that are bad, abusive relationships or marriages. They're dealing with illnesses. They're dealing with mental health. There's even, I think, a group of pickleballers that are like paraplegics and quadriplegics that are on the court blowing it up. It's just, it's a everybody's sport.
Yeah.
Anyone can get in, and the benefits. And I think that's what we kind of revel about, is like the benefits of pickleball. It's just, in hindsight, it's just a ball we're hitting over a net, right? But it's so much more than that. It is so much more than that.
I used to tell people too that I called it punk rock tennis, is what I used to nickname it, because they were like, it sounds like a dumb name. And I was like, that's very fair. And then I would go through the terminology, and they're like, okay, you're not selling me on this. This sounds dumber. I'm going to go out and I'm going to dink, and I'm going to
Dink in the kitchen.
I'm going to dink in the kitchen. Like, this sounds like you have, this is not real. But I always would tell them, I said, it's more like punk rock tennis because of the community, because I said, it's like this wonderful motley crew of individuals that you would never meet otherwise. You literally wouldn't. Like, you would not have the connections that we have without hitting a little wiffle ball. That's that's like the most amazing aspect of the sport for me.
I love it. When I first started, everything was very in the kitchen. You have to dink. I was like, we don't slam the ball. Like, no.
You're coming from volleyball.
I'm coming from volleyball, where it's like, this is nice, okay. And then when I began to see like the young people coming onto the court, I'm like, I told myself, I said, this game is going to change. I said, they're not going to put up with this dinking forever. They're going to start mixing it up. And now that do you agree that it's just the day of just dinking forever? And the dink is it. We need the dink.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other aspects now, and I kind of owe it to the young people come in, and they're just like bringing like a fresh fire to this game. There's kind of evolved.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, different types of athletic backgrounds.
Right.
Like the baseball players, the tennis players, as well as just like you said, they're younger, so they have more of that youthful, impactful energy. Like I want to go for it. I want to slam it. I want to feel that high when you hit a explosive winner.
Exactly. Yeah. Like and then coming from a lot of the sports that I did, I mean, mountain biking, cyclocross, snowboarding, skateboarding, longboarding, like it was all like high adrenaline endorphin rush sports.
Yes.
Like I was always chasing, I'm like, let's go down this mountain of snow as fast as I can. And so like whenever I started playing, I got a lot of grief from people because I would come out and I would rip the ball. And now my mother is the one that introduces me to the sport. She disagrees with me at this point. She's an absolute savage,
Yes.
hyper competitive,
Yes.
and a wonderful soul, like an
Yes.
amazing person. But she is hyper competitive, and she came from racquetball, where with racquetball, like you slam that ball.
You're all in.
And so when I came out, like I immediately was like, this is what I want to play. And what's been really cool is obviously like if you want to get into like the strategy of the game, you have to have an arsenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I say you have to have all the arrows in your quiver when I'm teaching students. Like you need to know when, soft game, a hard game, when to pull this out, when to, don't go for too much here. But it's evolved so rapidly, and with the paddle technology and the different sporting backgrounds that come into it. I mean, Sarah and I take off-court training very seriously, and we're starting to see other people who are now doing that same thing where it's, before it was just like, I want to just get out and play for 4 hours or for 2 hours. Now it's like, okay, like, I mean, her and I are going out in weighted vests, and now, I mean, I
see the postings, I'm just like, why am I sitting on this couch eating a slice of pizza? Get up and go.
When what's fun for me is like, I mean, like I'm at an age of my life too where like I get, and her and I have had this conversation, like some people view me as young, right? So like an older person might view me as young. The younger people view me as old, right? Like I'm at an age now where like a lot of people give up their hobbies, their interests, or their passions just because of the life circumstances.
Right.
And then pickleball not just is, it's not just this little box, no pun intended, but like, it's this box that holds so much more. So now that off-court training is because I'm now taking all these other passions that I had, but I want to get better at pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want to throw that vest on every day, and I want to take that 30 pounds and I want to go run 3 miles. I want to do the 5-pound weighted jump rope. I want to do 5 sets of 100. It's given me more of a purpose to be more physically active and to push myself. And even like out of high school, I was lifting, like I've always been hyper focused on one sport, but for the first time in my life, like I'm in the best shape of my life cross training wise because of hitting a wiffle ball. Again, like it all comes back to like the mental, the physical, it all comes back to hitting a little wiffle ball, and it changes everyone that I've talked to. It's changed their life trajectory.
Absolutely. If I didn't follow my friend's advice and just show up on that Tuesday and play, I don't know where I would be mentally, emotionally, physically. Pickleball has just been the healing balm. It's been the genesis of my healing. And because there was other people that I'm meeting, and as you begin to connect with these friendships and relationships, and then you find out, you know what, you're not alone, Maggie. So-and-so over there, she's dealing with that too. And this guy over here, he's battling this. But when we get on the court, that's what makes it so special, because, I don't know, no one knew what I was going through on the court until you're building that friendship and building those relationships, and then all of a sudden it comes out and you're sharing. And that makes it even more special. It's like now we're all surrounded around this plastic wiffle ball, and it's just deeper. It means so much more. I've played co-ed softball, volleyball, women's softball, tennis, and never has my life ever been more affected for the better, except through pickleball. It has really been the open door that has allowed me to step through and heal because of this sport.
Right, and there's that mental wellness aspect, the physical wellness aspect. Former athletes, non-athletes are all coming out getting that same dopamine rush.
Same.
It's exciting and comfortable at the same time, and everyone's sharing that exhilarating experience of pickleball. And I think also because of the close proximity, like I mentioned, the large tennis court where you're alone, and the close proximity on a pickleball court, it breeds that greater comfort level of sharing, and we all have that excitement in our eyes, and then the comfort of being amongst other people who share the passion, and then you become more comfortable, I think, to share what brought you here and what keeps you coming back the next day.
Absolutely. I mean, you cannot play this sport and not connect with somebody. There's just no way. It's just impossible. You cannot play it and just and be. I mean, you like when I first came on, of course, I wasn't. I wasn't connecting with everyone right away. I'm dealing with my own things. But the more you play, then that door just opens up even wider.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, even when I was going through. And everybody goes through struggles in life that they don't tell people about, but I have told my village of pickleball people that they helped me through battles that
Yes.
I was mentally fighting myself on the court that they had no idea that they were
Yes.
helping me through. I didn't voice it. They had no idea. Now that I speak to them a little more openly about it, they were like, "Well, we kind of knew if you were having a bad day because you really hit the ball hard. Like you really like
You really ripped it.
you didn't dink a single time. You didn't drop a single ball. Like everything was a drive, a pop up, and a slam. Like we knew something was going on. But like people, you never know what's going on in someone's life.
Absolutely.
And it sounds cliche, you hear it all the time, but
it's true.
yeah, and this community, like tennis, I have some regrets now about my athletic career. Like I wish I would have done more when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to maybe take some sports a little more seriously and really go for it. Like I watch more tennis than a tennis player.
Yeah.
Former tennis player. I watch far more tennis than a former tennis player. But what's so cool to me about pickleball, and this is like times changing, me aging as me getting older as an individual, having more, hindsight and understanding. But like when I was younger, I didn't play tennis partially because of the atmosphere that like the connotation that went with it.
Right.
It was like a country club sport.
Sure.
And I wasn't that person. Like I was the skateboarder, I was the longboarder, I was like, at this point now, like I was getting tattooed at a young age. Like I didn't feel like I could walk into that community and be accepted. Which hindsight is, I wish that I would have tried, and done that. But pickleball has given me a chance to like relive a lot, and be able to take a sport that I want to push as far as I can push, while still giving back to a community. And it's just multifaceted, and like that's what's so special to me. Along with like the million other things about pickleball, but it's a multifaceted area in my life, and I will forever be grateful for that. So.
Do you find just playing pickleball and what it means to you that it has affected other parts of your life? Like, maybe you're more disciplined in an area, or you're more compassionate in another area. I find that pickleball kind of bleeds into other parts of my life, and I love that. I could be at the grocery store and not even talking about pickleball, but I'm always thinking of like this connecting with this person, or maybe connecting this person through conversation in the line to something else. I've talked with people and they're like, "Oh, I'm learning this sport, pickleball or whatever," and it's like, oh, give me your phone, or whatever, or talking about something else and being able to connect on that level to whatever they're dealing with. I feel like pickleball has been that for me. It's just, it's given me the encouragement of just being able to help build a pickleball community, but it bleeds into other parts of my life.
I'm gonna let you feel this because I'm gonna get a drink while you're talking. I don't want to interrupt any of this, and we're just gonna be as authentic as we can on this podcast, and like people can just deal with it. We don't need to be prim and polished, but I want you to feel that one.
Absolutely. Like in my younger years, I was obsessively goal-oriented. In my academics, like I graduated first in my class from high school. In my tennis, nationally ranked, played Division I.
Yes.
And then I went through my adult years, and I was, it was reinforced how unsuccessful I was by a very not nice spouse at the time. And then I come to pickleball, and I set these goals for myself. I reach out to people to help me reach my goals, and then I'm reaching goals that I didn't even set for myself.
Wow.
And I'm achieving this strength through off-court training and new pickleball skills through on-court drilling. And then it makes me feel really good about myself. And in that way, pickleball has completely spread to other life lessons for myself beyond just a pickleball level, but self-esteem. And then when I
That's
feel
a big
better,
one, isn't it?
Yeah,
so huge.
That's huge.
And when I feel better about myself, I'm able to be more present and helpful and giving
Yeah.
to others in concrete ways that I think has had a positive impact on other people's lives.
Well said. I love that. Oh, that's so good.
Well, just the self-esteem portion. I mean, like, I think I would personally say if you can't understand where you're coming from, you're probably lying to yourself. I think everybody, I think that's like such a common thread that people don't want to admit. And I've noticed in pickleball, like, people are willing to admit more. I am 100% not an outgoing person. I would rather, I have to force myself to be an extrovert. I love having conversations. Naturally, I am an introvert.
You're selectively extroverted.
I am very selectively extroverted, and it's something that I am personally trying to work on. Doing the idea of a podcast. I love behind the scenes work. My early, when I went to school, when I was in college, I worked full time and I went to school full time. So I didn't have a social life. A social life wasn't on the list of things to check off. It wasn't this weekend I want to do this. It was if I have some time and somebody wants to go hang out, but I can't be working and I can't have school. So I got into this rut of one person. Everything was one person, right? I had played soccer growing up. I loved soccer, absolutely loved it. I loved the team dynamic. But in high school, I got out of playing sports and I focused more on art because that's what I was really passionate about art. And then I don't like being told that I can't do something. I actually love being told that I can't do something because that's fuel for the fire. Yeah, Always.
Oh,
So
wow.
from in high school, I started doing a lot of art, and you're getting to your senior year, and everyone's what's your next steps? And I said, well, I'm going to go to. I was looking at different art schools. Oh, you're not going to make it in art. You need to be realistic. You can't. You can't do this. You can't do it. So I took all that, and like I had told you earlier, I like to view negative, at this point in my life, negative situations as what may manifest as some people call demons in them, and take those demons and put them in a little cage, and then you hold that key, and then when you need to harness that demon as a sled dog, you open that cage, and then you put that harness on, and you tell that thing to go. So I took all the negative talk, and it took me a while. It took me a while to get there. I definitely struggled early on out of high school, but I ended up graduating from a very good school that I was very proud to graduate from with 3 undergraduate awards in art and design.
Nice.
Some pieces in some very high end establishments. Just a lot of I worked a lot, but it was that single person. I never had the team dynamic. So then whenever I started getting back into sports throughout college, I got into cycling because I could go do it by myself.
Right.
Cycling I loved being athletic, but I just had a hard time connecting with the community. And same with running. People were like, "Oh, join a running group." And I was like, "I'm good.
I'm just gonna go run."
Yeah, I'll just go run. Or it was even down to I had very strange interactions even within the athletic community where I remember one time I was trying to get connected at the gym that I was going to, just building trying to hey, can we work out together, or not even keep us on the same track, but can you just show me, I don't know what I'm doing because I didn't play sports through high school, so I don't have this background. And I remember one individual being I don't do this, I'm here by myself, and they didn't say it a rude, and I understand, but it was they were this is my time, And you know, I respected that. I was like, I get it. But so after a while, you're like, I'm not even gonna try to plug in. Like, I don't even want this team dynamic anymore. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm just gonna go focus on my career and then do the athletic things that I want to do that are one person.
Yeah.
So it was a huge shift coming into pickleball because you're playing doubles.
That's right.
I couldn't find people to play singles with. I wanted to play singles. I didn't, you know, like I wanted to just.
It's the exact opposite of what you had experienced with the other sports.
With the other, right, like I come in and I'm like, hey, how can I stay behind the scenes? Like how,
And they're like,
and they're like, no, there is no option.
Yeah,
like you're in here, like we now have 14 people come out on a Saturday and you're gonna sit in between games and you're gonna talk to them. And then you're gonna play, you're gonna play doubles and mix with them. And I was like, I like this, but it's very odd. I mean, this is not what I'm used to.
right.
And it really started to push me outside of my comfort zone because even in my background in advertising and marketing, making it to a high level at an agency, like we weren't the face of anything. Like we were behind the scenes of what we were doing.
Right.
That's where I felt comfortable. Like I was good there. Like I was good. Like let me put in the 10, 14-hour day and then go run by myself because, you know, and pickleball has forced me, I shouldn't even say forced me, it has made me want to give back to the community more and more because of what the community's done for me, and in turn forced me to become a much more extroverted person and
more visible,
open myself up more, because everything that I do, like I don't think it matters, you know. I mean, like, but to me, like like that's something I'm trying to overcome. Is like this is just me doing my thing, and like why would you care about what I'm doing? Like, you know, I mean, I see somebody else doing something and I go, wow, that's amazing. Like, I wish that I could do that. And so, but pickleball gave me a reason to really go for it, to try to say, you know, to like, hey, I want to plug myself into this community. I want to help grow this community. I see a true, like there's true benefit here that like, yes. I see personally, and it needs to be pushed. That's like, right. I see how it's changing people's lives, and this is amazing. I see the connections people are making with one another. It's amazing. And like, I have my, you know, I'm working on becoming a USA Pickleball ambassador for this region, for the Greencastle area. You know, Sarah and I have been going out and traveling like crazy to like, not just to help our own game, like, you know, there's some selfish reasons behind it. Like we've gone out to, you know, like help our own game to try to progress in the area that we want to, with where we want to take our pickleball game. Yes. But it's been amazing because we've made connections with people that we never would have. And then what started out as traveling to elevate our game has started to turn into more where we're having these conversations with people that you're like, this is actually like a very special moment, and we would not be having, again, without a plastic ball, like a plastic wiffle ball, like we wouldn't be meeting these people, we wouldn't be hearing these life stories that when you hear these people tell what we've heard behind the scenes, it really showcases how lonely some people are, how hurt some people are, and again, how much of a savage some people are, where they decide to come back from it and become stronger and be a light in a very dark world, to help people. And that to me, again, like I will harp on this and I will say it over and over, that's a savage to me. Yes. Like that is, I don't care if you can go out and lift X amount of pounds, or you can go run this many, you know, a minute mile or whatever. Like the athletic savages that I'm surrounding myself with, it is your physical, mental, and your spiritual. Yeah. Those are the three pillars that I believe that make you a savage. So.
And that's every day, all day, isn't it? I mean, you can't hide from those aspects. You can't hide from the social aspects of pickleball. You can't hide from the friendships which are automatically going to take place and they're going to develop. It's almost like it's a super vitamin for humanity, right?
It is medicine. It's
is.
such healing. We'll travel to play a variety of players and great pickleball players, and then we'll realize we're meeting great people.
Yes.
Pickleball is how we met them.
Yes.
And then we feel like we're coming out of that experience, those games with them, as more inspired, better people, because we were able to share our stories and be inspired by their stories, and we're told that we inspire them as well. And literally, we only met them because we were trying to play pickleball.
Right.
Yes.
The other thing that I find so amazing too is that on the court, the conversations that you have, I mean, Sarah knows this, I love to have like very in-depth conversations with people. Like, let's talk about like uncomfortable topics, but like,
No, that's
like,
good.
you know,
I think
like
it's
let's
needed.
put things on the table, and like I want to be able to have adult conversations with people where we are both mutually walking away going, I never thought of something from that perspective. And pickleball, I've not met one person, like I've had some of the coolest, strangest conversations after pickleball that would never have happened, and it was so organic. And it was so organic, and it's hard to find people like that to have those conversations with. So it's amazing to me to see a sport that attracts these like-minded people.
Yes.
And when I say like-minded, not that everyone's opinion is the same,
Right.
but that everybody that's there respects everyone's opinion, and we can have discussions that would not be happening.
Right.
And that is so mutually beneficial for your entire life. I mean, you walk away from that in a different light.
That's such a good point. I think with me, there's a level of, and probably I can speak for you as well, there's a level of authenticity that we see, right? Because we know what it's like to be hyped up, or we know what it's like to be overproduced, or I've worn a facade for years, I didn't want people to see, the soft underbelly, the broken parts of Maggie. But there's something to be said about laying things on the table, and I hate to use the term, but just being real, just being authentic, just taking off the mask and saying, this is what it is, and just seeing how, maybe not how people react, but just, this is what I'm offering, this is where I've been, this is what I'm battling with, this is what I'm doing. And then people, I've noticed, they're just like, well, this is what I'm battling too, and this is what I'm dealing with too. It's something that just, it's like a glue for community. It's like a glue for humanity, this pickleball glue.
It's a medicine that we're all sharing. And the forum, it's so different from meeting people, like going out for drinks, where you package yourself in your prettiest way.
You got it.
And, or for a guy, maybe figure out what type of image you want to project. And then you go to a bar, and a lot of bars are oriented towards certain types of demographics. Like you have your yuppie bars and your dive bars. So you go to your chosen demographic type of bar with the packaging that you chose to put together. And then you have conversations that you're trying to match with the image that you intended to project. Whereas on the pickleball court, everyone is so passionate about that endorphin rush you get when you hit the ball and you have good rallies and good points and you win games, and it breaks down all those facades.
Yes.
And then you feel that warmth and comfort, that mutual excitement, and then the conversations begin, and you find out who people actually are, not just, oh, what do you do for a living?
Right.
Gonna have another shot of that, or
Right.
Well, I mean, personally, like that's partially why I always was just like career oriented, and then single, like a single individual sport, like running, or I don't like facades. Like I don't like to, I want to be genuine with people, and it's very hard. Like I can't put a mask on. I mean, it's if I'm not talking, like it's because I can't fake a conversation, and I liken it, pickleball, back to like the island of misfit toys.
Oh yes.
Right? So like you have all these,
like
you have all these people who trickle in from all these different walks of life and backgrounds in athletics, And I think that's part of what makes this so special is that, you know, like if you're playing tennis, you are playing tennis players.
Yes.
If you are playing golf, you are playing against golfers.
Right.
Baseball, you know, now maybe like kickball leagues and softball leagues, maybe those, you know, in more of like a major city though I've seen. Like I've gone and visited friends in Texas where, you know, they had like a very, very healthy kickball community, you know, but it was the demographic that was there. Right. That's the only reason they could build that community.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those guys and girls were switching over to pickleball, right? They were already seeing like, you know, they were like, hey, this is like, they see that. But that's what's so amazing to me is on this court, you have this trickle down effect of all this backstory from people.
Yes.
I mean, like you'll play against someone and then find out that they were, you know, oh, I played, you know, D1 baseball. You know, we just played somebody who out of nowhere was like, I played D1 baseball, or you know, I used to play X, Y, and Z for, you know, this team or that team, or someone who says I really never played sports.
Right. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my first sport.
Mm-hmm.
And they're wonderful. It's like, there it is.
That's another great aspect is there's such a low barrier to entry.
Yes.
You don't have to have an athletic background or a tennis background. Just like playing ping pong at a party, like you're not necessarily going to be the most outstanding player, but you can have the same level of enjoyment and excitement. You just have to show up, learn a few skills, and maybe learn the rules, and then you can decide from there where to take it. Just have a social game and enjoy that forever, or become more athletic at it, more competitive at it. But there's such a low barrier to entry, and it really is for anybody to enjoy at whichever direction they choose to take it.
I love it. I'm reminded by that first day in Montgomery County. I was worthless, but I was enjoying it so much that, you know, it immediately catapulted me to like, I want to learn more about this. I want to improve. I don't want to be just, you know, standing in the kitchen. I remember to stand in the kitchen. They're like, you can't do that. And now, you know, you're like, okay, well, let me learn. What's the kitchen? What's this all about?
Right.
And now I'm in a place now where I know in my heart I don't want to necessarily, you know, go down certain paths in pickleball. What is very the word I'm looking for is just what makes my heart sing so much is just connecting to people that play pickleball and connecting others to this sport. I love the fact of just traveling anywhere, and finding a community on a whim, and just, hey, you know, sure, come on, you know, jump in this game, and then even if you don't talk about anything, I mean, you've connected to this group of people wherever it is.
You've plugged yourself into that
Plug
local
yourself
community.
in. You're always welcomed back. Take our number down. You know, here's our Facebook page or whatever. And when you're back in this area, it's like that's one more connection, and it just leads me to think, this is humanity. This is like humanity's sport. If I had to put it in a nutshell, it's humanity's sport. We want to be connected. We want to feel safe. We want to feel encouraged. We want to have fun. We want to develop relationships. That's, to me, how it works in my brain. So for me, Hub City was like, I just want to connect people. You may not stay here for very long. There's people that stop in and all of a sudden they're off to wherever. Or, Sarah, I remember when you first came on, you were playing, and now you're sharing with me your goals of wanting to, you know, reach the pro levels. I'm just like, God, yes, that's how it works. And John's like, I'm going to teach now. I'm going to become, yes, that's how it works. We start in the hub, and then you know, whatever you need so that you can get off and go into the direction of your dreams. That's how I view pickleball for me. It's been such a catalyst for not just healing, mostly healing, but like you said, your passion. What is your passion at the end of the day? You know, you play with CEOs of hospitals and doctors, you know what I'm saying? And construction workers.
And you never know till later.
You
like that's
never know.
You know, like all of a sudden, a week or two later, someone's like, well, you know, so and so that we played with, they run
Yeah, blah,
What-
blah, blah, blah.
and you're like, huh?
You're like, huh?
Yeah,
What?
they're the
What?
founder of this big company.
Right.
It's like, I only know him because he has this great backhand, and
Right.
I know he's my
He's a
partner.
pretty good thinker, but like, what?
And for me, that puts everything into perspective too, because then that makes me want to be a better human.
Yes.
Because I've met this person who
Yes.
has every right to be cocky and arrogant and look,
Right.
down,
Look down.
like the way that our society looks at, you're hyper successful, you've made it to this area.
Yeah.
Nobody could really blame them if they were like, I'm superior, like I've done all this work.
Right.
And out on the court, they're the nicest individual.
Yes.
And every time you see them, they're not bragging, they're not boastful. Again, I will harp on this. This goes back to being that savage, that mentality of no matter where I'm coming from, like you are helping others, and I think that is strength, and it's like that is strength, is the ability to help others no matter where you're at, and no matter what your background is, no matter how successful you are, it's up to you, and you make the impact on the person, and that's, pickleball has definitely been an eye opener for me for that, because you always see it, but then to like really see it on like a microscopic level locally, right? Because like locally here you see it, because then you're like, wow, I didn't know that person had X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But then even back to like the passion portion, with us traveling, we have a cool little logo, and we get stickers made, and then we go out and we like hand out stickers to people, which like to me, like I'm very, like I made the logo, like it's near and dear to my heart, but like I feel uncomfortable being like, would you like to take my sticker?
Make it right.
Well,
Take
like,
a sticker.
just yesterday we were like, we just got back from a trip to New Jersey, and we were out playing at someone's, local, like at their private court. And so like I sheepishly was like, hey, like thanks for having us. Like I don't like, this is a thank you. Like here's some stickers. I was like, thank you. And she gets. Well, first off, she was super excited. Everybody else that was there starts taking them. I was like, we'd love some stickers. And then she goes, hey, wait a second, I forgot to bring these out. And she runs into her house, and she comes out, and she has keychains and pins for her court.
Yeah.
For her court. I have never played a sport where it's almost like this new generation of business cards.
Yes.
But it's like we are all so passionate about this sport that we're like, people are naming their courts, and they're getting swag for their
own
courts.
merch,
Right, and it's this really cool transaction.
Energy exchange.
Yeah, where you're like, hey, here's some stickers like for what we're doing. Oh, here's a pin and a keychain for my home court that I have on my property. And please come back. And like if you're in the state, like let us know. We'll set play up for you. We want to introduce you to X, Y, and Z. I mean, we woke, we literally, after driving back from Jersey, this morning woke up to text messages from people that we met yesterday saying how much of a pleasure it was to meet us. And that's, we were there for like 4 hours, and now there's this connection that like,
we're no longer strangers, and we're no longer invisible.
Right,
Yes.
And, but it is like, just from a marketing standpoint, it's truly amazing to me that people are taking it upon themselves to like get their own swag for what they like, for what this sport's doing to them, and almost have this like barter exchange.
I love it.
And the coolest part for me is like, again, coming from skateboarding and like BMX riding and mountain biking and like those cultures, that was prevalent. Like stickers were prevalent. That's what that was your business card. That was your calling card, right? Like you had your sticker, and like, if you like, I started making like my own stickers in high school. I would print them on sticker paper. I would like laminate them myself, and like that was like my little business card. And like it was a little way of saying like thank you, and then like this is where I've been, because now someone puts it on their water bottle, and it's a cool story.
Yes.
And to see other people kind of picking that up, like that makes me really happy, because like that was part of the culture that pulled me into those sports. It was this more like DIY, this DIY culture of like, well, I love this so much that, I don't care if no one buys them or nobody wants them. I'm gonna make t-shirts out of my garage because I love to skateboard.
And you love it.
Right. Yeah. So now all of a sudden, like these pickleball people are like, well, I'm making keychains.
Oh yeah,
You know,
cricket
now-
machines are.
Right, yeah, and it's so cool to see that, like, oh, here's my keychain, and then, oh, well, here's my,
It's
you
like
know,
a tangible symbol of the connection.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
yeah.
so good.
and it's just that, like, that's a very little nerdy aspect that, like, geeks me out.
I love it.
Like, I've actually, like, I sat there and thought about it yesterday for, like, probably a good half hour where I was just like, this is amazing that this isn't just, like, a me thing where I'm like, well, I like this thing, so I'm gonna make stickers. I actually met someone else who's enjoying it so much that they're like, well, here's my keychain, and like that is a really cool way to exchange a passion with someone where
So good.
you're like, hey, I went out and I had 1,000 of these made, and they're like, oh, I have keychains, and it just shows how much people love what they're doing, and like
Yes.
it's a large portion of their identity.
I believe that too, and that was so good. You said something about earlier how, you know, coming into pickleball, it creates this community, Sarah and John, of healing and friendship. And then on the flip side, and I can probably count maybe on one hand, of the people that have come into this sport, small amount, very small amount, who I actually had to address because it's like, that is not the, no, that's not how we're doing it.
Right.
You know,
That is not our culture.
that's not our culture. You gotta go fix that before, because, you know, your one attitude or your one mindset or your one arrogance is kind of ruining it for everybody.
Mhm.
I played a tournament one time, no names, but and it was actually a friend of mine, a mutual friend of mine, called and said, this person wants to play in this tournament. She needs a partner, and you know, we're down to the wire. Can you do it for me?
Oh,
It's
I
okay.
remember.
I said, okay, well, sure. I said, I'll do it. So I met this person. She called me. She goes, well, I'll come up to Washington County and we'll just practice. I said, okay, fine. So she came up, and it was like oil and water. Sarah, were you there, I think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was like she spread disease.
I tried to just immediately, here's the community, we're here, and they were excited. People showed up like, oh, there's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were excited, and it was like pulling teeth. And I for the life of me, I couldn't figure out like what was her motivation.
Mm-hmm.
She did not want to blend. She wanted to pretty much tell me how to play the game, but
In a condescending
in a
way.
very condescending way.
Not helpful tips.
She wasn't jovial, she wasn't personable, and these are not friends.
Mhm.
First of all, you're not coming into Hub City at all bringing that. I mean, I had to, you know, refrain. We ended up doing this tournament. It was disaster. It was an automatic disaster. She was making bad calls. She was fighting with the opponents. I said, never again. I called my friend and said, never again, don't you ever do this. But I thought for a moment, this woman won't ever survive in the pickleball community. You can't bring your mess.
Mm-mm.
You can't bring your mess and expect it to survive. We will nip it in the bud.
And she stood out as being that bad apple because
She
so
stood out.
many of the others are.
Well, they're the outliers,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
and we just had this discussion yesterday with the individual that we were playing at her court, was that even if you want to play at that more advanced level,
Sure.
like a lot of people, like there's a lot more advanced players now. Like you do have to be the entire package. Like you have you have to be a good person still.
Yeah.
Like there's enough advanced players in our local area now where like you have to be a good person.
Yeah.
Just because you can play well, like you know,
You
like-
can't be a
Yeah,
jerk.
you don't
Right,
get
yeah.
invited anymore just based on your skill level. You
Right.
have to have the skill and be a good person
Yeah.
to be included.
which is something that I hope personally, like this local area does not lose, is that, you know, I mean, I wonder, I think, I often think about what pickleball scene looks like in a decade, right?
Mhm.
Because what makes it so special right now, again, is that like, in my opinion, that island of misfit toys, where so many people come in from it, from so many different backgrounds, and I'm super excited to see the growth of the sport. You know,
Yes.
I'm obviously like, I'm out teaching, like I want to be, you know, I'm trying to work with all ages to like get that next generation into it, but it does worry me a little to just now be like, well, I am a pickleball player. Like it kind of takes away maybe that, like, and you know, maybe that's where it goes, and then we get to say we were lucky enough to watch to be part of the island of misfit toys. That's what, you know, makes it so special to me. But the other thing that you said is like you can only really count on one hand like the interactions that you've had like that, which in most sports is not the case.
No, it's not.
Like it's not the case
No,
at all.
it's
It's right. You're like, well, I can count on one hand like the 5 people I've met that I enjoy playing the sport with and that I speak to regularly.
Right.
And like I have only run into, you know, like literally probably can count on one hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everybody else that I have run into, it's been amazing. But even those individuals that I've run into where it's not been a community mindset, they're it's nipped very quickly. Like people are like, hey, this is not, you know, there are unwritten rules on the court.
That's right.
Where you're just like, hey, this is not, you know, how we do it. And I've seen other people jump at the opportunity to politely correct them.
Yes.
And politely state, you know, this is not how we operate. This is not how we speak to people before. Like, and then you look and there's like 3 other people waiting in line that we're going to be the ones to be the advocate to do that. And that speaks a lot to the passion, love of the game and the local community. Because that's not a fun circumstance to be in.
No.
To be the one being like, hey, we're not gonna act like this, you know.
Yeah.
But for people to be willing to put themselves in an uncomfortable situation to keep a good community speaks volumes to it.
Well, you wouldn't put up with it in the grocery store, would you? If someone came over and slammed their cart and was, you know, or any other walks of life. And, you know, I tend to be a little bit of a mama bear, especially with the newer people and they're experiencing this, or it's been, aggravated toward them. I get a little like, we're not going to do, no, not right now.
You have to protect what you built and that mutual positive energy.
Yeah, and everyone deserves to kind of be in a conducive, you know, fun environment. I mean, if you're got grievances or something, you gotta take that out there somewhere. But yeah, I get a little protective, but I think that's how we are even in everyday life, right? We don't want to put up with things that are unnecessary. It's like you don't get to come in here into this lovely environment and bring your mess. You know, you just don't get to do that. You don't get to be that person. So fix it or take a hike.
Well, especially again with the community, that's what we've all seen is so open and supportive of helping people heal.
That's
like
right.
when you voice what you're going through, like people drop what they're doing.
Yes.
And we had one, like I have one of like the pickleball guys that, you know, like Sarah plays with as well. I got horrible poison ivy this summer, like
oh wow,
like 3 times. It was miserable. And he asked me why, like he actually took the time to say, why do you keep getting poisoned? And I said, oh, I'm doing X, Y, and Z for my grandmother. And he was like, if you need help, you just call me. Like, so not only, it wasn't me saying like, oh, I'm so tired because I'm doing all this like clear cutting or I'm doing X, Y. It was, you keep getting this. Why do you keep getting this? Why haven't you asked me for help?
What can I do to help you?
Like I've noticed that you keep, and like that was very special to me. Like that, like I was like, wow, that speaks volumes to these people. Like you're noticing something, like you're like, okay, there's a reoccurring pattern.
Yeah.
I want to ask you why, and then I'm almost irritated that you haven't asked me to help you.
It's sort of transcended, we're just here playing pickleball. It's
Right.
like it goes beyond that.
Right.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He cares about you as a person, not just your partner for the Tuesday night.
That's so good. I love that.
It's just an amazing sport, you know.
What have you found as you've traveled? What types of places have you traveled to, and then what have you found with those local pickleball communities?
I went back, like I said, to Monterey, California. That's my hometown, and they're very, you know, it was a very huge tennis thing. Pickleball kind of has taken over, and now the struggle with the tennis courts and the pickleball lines. So that is a whole other thing. There's not a whole lot of land to build new courts, but the love was there. I mean, I had to Google because, I mean, that's my hometown, but I hadn't been back in years, so I'm just like, where to play pickleball? And so it led me to a local park, which, you know, was down from the high school that I graduated from, and the people were wonderful, but they had their own set of rules. Like, I think there was there was 3 courts, 2 were pickleball, 1 was not to be used for pickleball at all. And they had a different, you know, rack system. It was just different, but it was fine. But they were warm and loving, and I spent all day there. I actually got a little dehydrated because playing, and you know, I'm terrible at staying hydrated, but the fire was there. I mean, there was just, they were hungry. We need more courts. You know, that seems to be like the normal,
Right.
you know, we need more courts.
We want more.
We want more. But and this was a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I think. And one of the girls asked me, she goes, like, what level do you play at? I was like, I don't know, like 35-ish. She goes, no, she's not like, you're like pro level. I'm like, oh, get out of here. I'm like, oh, stop. It was kind of funny, but just to see people that were so hungry in my hometown, it was never there. You know, I had to move away to come back to find out, man, even in Monterey where, you know, it was such a huge tennis golf community, and pickleball has just taken over. Panama City Beach is another one. Anywhere in Florida has all the pickleball you'll ever want. I want to play like in places that I've never been. I'd like to travel to, you know, the Northwest. I want to go to Alaska, maybe go to Canada and find out, you know, what's pickleball like there. In Vegas, they have pickleball on top of the casino roofs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother, like, yes,
That sounds amazing.
let's do that.
Nashville has a court like that as well.
Does it really on top of the roof?
Mhm.
See, it's just wherever we can, you know, put a court. I think that's the new. It's just where we can put a court. I wish Washington County would build 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
It would
there's
change.
space.
It would change the whole economy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Really? Yeah.
that's a huge discussion that I've had with individuals that I'm like, if you have these courts, like
They
that
will
is-
come.
It is literally a field of
Yeah.
dream moments, and just
Yeah.
someone that we spoke to recently, that was what he did. He needed a place to play. He started building courts, and all of a sudden the people came with it.
Yeah.
And then he built more courts because he couldn't keep up with how many people were coming out. And he was like, the people are hungry for it. If you give it to them, like, they'll go, you know.
Yeah, Florida has they have that whole community down. I mean, pickleball is bringing so much revenue into that state. And I'm coming from a hospitality, you know, major, so this stuff that I study all the time. It's just, you know, the trends and pickleball, we barely scratched the surface. Where pickleball
It's just beginning, really.
Absolutely.
The proliferation.
it is.
And then imagine a community like our area. There's a newer emphasis on physical wellness. I know the local rec department is really trying hard
Yes.
with that. If there were more pickleball courts and people are welcomed there because of the culture of pickleball
Yes.
and the low barrier to entry, you don't need an athletic background. Imagine the physical wellness that can
Oh
come
my
from
gosh.
the proliferation of more pickleball courts.
It would be almost instantaneous. I mean,
Right.
it's just, you couldn't do anything but to, you know, be well, you know.
People start to get in better shape,
There's shade.
develop that greater self-esteem,
There you go. Heal, connect,
yeah,
build
Yeah.
friendships, and
get out of their isolated pods.
When that's something
Yes.
that's like why I love, again, like we've spoke so highly of the pickleball community, but I really believe in the day and age that we're in, it's so needed because of things like social media
yes.
and, you know, the way, like, the internet is a wonderful tool, but it also allows you to very quickly just self-isolate
Right.
and
Right
just
there.
live in your little bubble. And, you know, I don't need to go outside and meet people. Like, I can just, like
Like
doom
a
scroll.
post.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like, I
Like
can,
oxygen in my lungs.
right. Like, I can doom scroll and I'll just sit here. You know what? Like, it's been a long day after work. Like, I'm miserable. I'm tired. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna have the TV going while I'm on my phone, and then it just is it's a cycle that gets worse and worse and
Yeah.
worse. And if you were able to just say, you know what, 15 minutes down the road,
Yeah.
I can go play.
Jump in.
I can go just jump in. I mean, we were very lucky that 8 minutes away from here we have 6 courts.
Are
that
those
they put in.
the lighted courts? I haven't been.
They
Yeah,
are lighted,
they are
yes.
lighted.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, see.
And so we're very lucky to have that, you know, that close to where, you know, we're sitting right now,
Nice.
as opposed to, you know, what I used to drive 45 minutes to go play, you know, I mean, or try to go play on like a tennis court,
Right.
which is not fun.
It's not fun.
So from an economic standpoint, I hope that, you know, they, like even one of the places that I teach, I had to give a presentation on why they should have pickleball at the facility.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came in, had my presentation, and I was like, look, like X, Y, and Z is building homes by this much, like this is a percentage that they're raising. These individuals work in this area, like they're traveling down to, you know, DC to work. You're marketing yourself as a suburb of DC. Like you have the infrastructure.
Right.
You now have the people who are looking to play. Like this could be a huge, you know, like everybody wants to.
Everybody wants it. It's not like it's,
right.
You know, no one wants it. Everyone wants it. Everyone in every location around the world.
I mean, having 8 courts, or is it 6 courts? 6 courts. 6 courts. My bad. My apologies. 6 courts from here keeps me in this area. That's one of the reasons I stay in this area. Is because of those courts.
Great courts, great people.
Is it oversaturated yet?
No.
No. We always get a court.
Yeah, and then there's also like everyone over there is very. It is like even the only thing that I have noticed is the more people that are coming into it without like a tennis background, maybe some of the what most people would consider common sense maybe isn't there. Like they're walking behind the etiquette. That's what the etiquette. So like if
walking
I'm
onto the court,
like if I'm mid serve and you're walking behind me, or you know, like it's not just the etiquette side, but it's also it can be dangerous because I mean the way that we're playing, like
it's a powerful.
I've got walked in the head by a paddle.
Someone's walking behind while there's these very athletic bangers.
Right. Well, like especially in our group, like I cannot tell you how many times somebody has lobbed someone and you know the fence, like you know you have your fence, like your perimeter. Right. So you give it all you have and you then sprint to get that lob and then you turn and you just run into the fence, like use it as a little.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
We like, so if there's a person right there trying to get to court too.
Yeah,
right now, all of a sudden you're running into them.
That's highly dangerous.
Yeah, we likened it, like somebody one night was like, it looks like you guys are playing like, it's like WWE, like you have like a cage match, because we were getting these lobs and just going back and jumping against the fence and then bouncing off of it. But no, I mean, even over there, like everybody is super, you know, again, like on one hand, I could tell you like maybe some of the negative interactions. And I even liken a lot of that back to maybe it's not so much a negative, it's just a lack of understanding. Which, you know, you can't fault someone for knowing something, for not knowing something that they don't know.
Yeah, they've never been exposed.
Right, they've never been exposed.
You just have to tell them once.
Yeah,
and
look, pal.
But even notice like it was really cool because the one day we after we had a drill session. And we went to a local restaurant, and the waiter comes up to us and he goes, "Oh, were you guys playing pickleball today?" And we were like, "Yeah, we were drilling." And he was like, "Oh, I see you guys over there all the time."
Oh.
And so it was, you know, and so we were like, "Oh, cool! Like this is what we're doing," and we were actually taking notes about the podcast and working on getting people scheduled and all that. And we were like, "Next time we're over, we'll bring you stickers. Like we're getting those ordered." And so it's just, you know, again back to that community aspect. Everything's intertwined.
Everything's intertwined, and as it should be, right? I think so. Yeah, it's just. We need each other, we can't be alone. I mean, there's moments when, especially when I was going through that very depressive, emotional, draining portion of my life where I needed to tuck away. I didn't want to show it because I was afraid of, you know, what the emotional scars might look like to people that, you know, they didn't see it, but I was just like, ugh, you know. And pickleball helped me to give me that little bit of confidence, you know, to just step out and be like, okay, I'm normal. I might be battling some things, but I'm normal because I'm running into other people that are kind of going through the same thing. And I think that's what makes this sport so special is that, you know, no one has arrived. You know, everyone is just striving. Everyone's trying to get from point A to point B, and we're trying to get on with our lives and do well. And in the midst of that, we have obstacles and stumbling blocks and broken pieces that we're trying to figure out how to heal. And pickleball is just such an avenue for that. And I'm forever grateful. I'm grateful for the pickle box and for you too, and for just being able to, hopefully for people that are listening, that just get started. You know, I had a little tagline on my old Instagram. It was just get up and get out, get playing. And that's what it is. Just get out and start playing, and look us up and get connected.
I love that. And what is your Instagram that you use for when you travel and play pickleball?
It's Pop In Pickleball, POPIN Pickleball, Pop In Pickleball, kind of like Pop In Pickleball, but Pop In Pickleball.
Right.
Yeah, on Instagram.
I love that.
Yeah. There's also a Facebook page too, and it's just mostly informational, but my Instagram is mostly more active. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the inspiration that you have personally given to me and the introduction you've given to me to join your pickleball community, because it's led to more and more connections that I really appreciate. And
Oh gosh.
we really appreciate your coming and sharing with us your amazing story.
Well, I love what you two are doing. I'm so excited, and this is just part of the bigger picture, right? You're doing it for the love of the game. The connections that you're making is the love of the game. It's coming out of your heart, and as John said earlier, the passion. But the ripple effect is just going to be so much more larger than you're ever going to even imagine that's taking place. But it just takes a spark to get the fire going, and you guys are just awesome. I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. It's a special sport, and it really brings together special people, very special people.
It does.
So
And I have to
thank
go and
you.
order new swag, because I have some old swag, but I'm not on it. So I'm all like, I don't even have swag to give them. I don't even have a sticker. My goodness, man, pull it together. But I'll get it together.
Yeah, we just really appreciate you being on the podcast, and I personally am just very thankful to have you on the first 12 episodes, which is because you have such an amazing story, and you know, everybody that we've met, these stories they seem to just keep coming up, and they resonate with so many people, and I'm excited to get to push this out to other individuals who, you know, maybe they haven't they're not on the court yet,
Right.
or just struggling in different aspects of their life.
Sure.
And to hear people that are out doing things, you know, saying that you can overcome it, and you do overcome it, and you stack days and things get better, and you find your people, you find your village, you know, it's very cool. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.
Take care.